Hey guys, this is ggurface and I'll be talking about game number 4 between MorroW playing as the light blue Terran on the left and HuK playing as the red Protoss player on the right. This is game number 4 in a series of show matches between the two players, and it's 72 degrees outside. It's a beautiful day, it's breezy, and I can't wait to do some StarCraft 2 replays. And that's how my mind functions, a little bit different from a lot of you, and this probe is harassing this SCV, and MorroW has pulled an SCV off the line to deal with it. MorroW, speaking of MorroW, he has gotten banned from the EPS Nordic, and the reason for that is he did not let an observer who was supposed to be in game to watch and maybe give away his replay or show how he was playing in. So as a result, he got a 2-week ban from the EPS Nordic. I think it's kind of silly. Maybe they somehow indirectly insulted his avatar and he felt the need to get vengeance by not letting them watch the game. But in any event, it's all fun and games until somebody gets banned, right? That's what I always say. But realistically speaking, it should be an honor for someone to want to watch your games, because if people want to watch your games, that means you're doing something right. And I don't think you should be afraid of people stealing your strategies, your build orders, or some of your tactics, because the reason you're winning games is not so much the build orders as what you bring to the build order, your APM or what you know, or your creativity or your training. All of that can't be transferred in a simple replay, but it's just how I feel. I'm not sure how you guys feel, but I think it's kind of silly that all this drama is going on. I mean, it's a game. This is not Law and Order. There should not be that much drama regarding who can and cannot watch a replay. In any event, both players playing very, very normally so far, as a tech lab has gone up for the barracks and a stalker is being chrono boosted to deal with the SCV that is scouting inside HuK's base. Marauder is currently being built as well, and this Marine is checking out the perimeters for any proxy pylons. As we do see, he has queued up a nice path to check for the basic locations of a proxy pylon. The warp gate technology was not being boosted because the boost was being used on the stalker, and this probe is going to run around to the other control tower to see exactly what's going on, but I don't think he's going to find anything there, because I don't think anybody would put anything so far away from anything. But then these are pro players, maybe they know a lot more than I do. In any event, a robotics facility is going down for HuK at the moment, while a second barracks has gone down for MorroW. He has not yet gotten the factory. I think he's going to focus on a very Marine Marauder heavy, as he has started the research STEM at the moment. A second gateway going down, and the warp technology still not being boosted. I think he's going to save the chrono boost for the robotics facility to maybe make some Immortals or Colossus. And he has spent a chrono boost on an observer. A lot of people do spend the chrono boost on the observer because it does last for the lifetime of that observer, and one Marauder does take down one probe that was just scouting around the base. And MorroW has gone and gotten his own expansion right now, as HuK doesn't have that many forces to put any sort of pressure on MorroW, but he has teched significantly, and maybe he's gonna grab the thingy for the Colossus. The thingy, you know, the thingy. You want to put it down. Put it down. Okay, he puts down a pylon. Maybe the thingy is coming up. In any event, a observer is coming across, and pylon being warped in, and this observer will be able to see that MorroW has gotten an expansion. I still can't stop thinking about how MorroW got banned. That's kind of silly. I'm sure there's a backstory to it, but there was a picture of MorroW telling someone that he informed the people of EPS Nordic, or whoever he did not let into the game, that he regrets it, but he didn't regret it. So it was kind of funny to see conflicting stories in one conversation, as we do see the robotics bay has gone down at the same location of the thingy. I'm sorry, robotics facility and robotics bay. Refinery has finally gone down, as weapons upgrade 1 is being researched by MorroW, as he's getting a very, very heavy infantry army. I think because HuK spotted the expansion, yes he did, he's also going to get his own expansion as well. Always a good idea to sort of mirror at least the economic advantage, or match economically what the other player has. And wow, that's a lot of probes on this mineral lines. this Reaper running around to maybe do some harass on the expansion, as we will see the Reapers coming into light of the expansion, or maybe he's just scouting. Is he gonna hit it? No, he's not gonna hit it. And as he's backing away, this observer is scanning exactly what's going on in the midfield. He will see the rocks are not destroyed, a signal that maybe he's not gonna rush just yet. Infantry weapon level 1 almost complete at the moment, and a scan goes off. Gateways being warped in, as well as 2 assimilators, both players working economically, and now they're simultaneously working on each other's rocks. This observer is still getting a view of everything that's going on in the middle of the map, and I guess there was some lag. There was a wall of text. We can catch up on that wall of text. They're talking about bunnies and hating and bunny haters and any event. Let's continue with the game. Right now, both players just working very, very nicely on their tech as well as their economy. Not too much action just yet, as they have broken the rocks. Maybe we'll see a meeting in the front. I think both players suspect the others have broken the rocks, and I think this Marine does spot the rocks were broken, and the observers are going to get into place to see exactly what kind of units his opponents has, and a scan goes off. We'll catch a glimpse of those 2 Colossus. Very, very good play. Research for weapon 1 has completed for the Terran player MorroW, but the Protoss player HuK has not yet gotten any upgrades just yet. These 2 gases are empty at the moment, whereas HuK has gotten both his gases. So HuK has opted gotten a more gas and more tech heavy build, while MorroW is pumping out more and more infantry units, and maybe he's going to grab some Vikings. Yes, he's going to get some Vikings to deal with the Colossus. Very, very good choice, as Vikings have a very long range, and both refineries finally going up for MorroW at the moment. The thermal lance currently being researched for the Colossus. Colossus are much more useful with thermal lance, and chrono boosted. Another 2 Colossus coming out. A scan goes off trying to catch the observer, but the observer is slightly out of reach, and he's gonna maybe come in to see a sensor tower has gone up, and now we might see an engagement, and these units are gonna move into position. They're moving closer and closer. These units do have longer range. The Colossus, these 3 Colossus have longer range. They will be able to hit them without getting hit, and these Vikings are in position. The Vikings are going to try to click out the Colossus, and force fields are going off, preventing the infantry from surrounding the Colossus. Colossus falling back. 1 Colossus does fall, but he has done a lot of damage to this infantry, and the Stalkers are keeping the Vikings at bay, and the Viking does go down. And right now, HuK does have a little advantage with these 2 Colossus, and he's going to push forward and press his advantage, and he's going to push into the main base and not the expansion. And he's going to take down additional infantry that's just spawning. These infantries are not attacking while they spawn, and he's going to try and snipe off maybe a tank. Additional Stalkers come to back up the 2 Colossus. They're moving backwards. Very, very good play from both players, and infantry are getting into the mix, as well as the SCVs, and the SCVs does go down. If we take a look at the unit count, the SCV has severely HuK has severely hurt the SCV count of MorroW, and additional SCVs coming. I'm not sure if this is the best move for an additional, for MorroW, additional Colossus joining into the fight, and these Vikings might be able to pick off these 2 Colossus if the Stalker goes down. I think the Stalker is going to go down, and I think HuK realizes this and brings additional units, and there's nothing to prevent these 2 Vikings from taking down the Colossus, and the Colossus will go down. And this 1 Viking trying to avenge his fallen Colossus friend does march forward very bravely, but maybe to his death. No, he's actually falling back. Very, very good idea. This sensor tower does give a lot of information for... and what is this Colossus doing? He's awfully brave today. He's feeling very brave. He's like, I'm going to take on the world, and maybe not quite the world. And HuK does realize he put his Colossus at the wrong place at the wrong time. Not too many friends on the other side of the map at the moment for HuK. Additional gateways do come online, as additional gateways are being built as well. Right now, if we take a look at the income, HuK has a huge advantage, I think. I think after that last encounter, MorroW is really hurting. He only has 20 SCVs to HuK's 50s, and he's not taking in any gas at the moment. 0 gas, absolutely no gas. Whereas MorroW has a lot of mules, and those mules are really making up for the economical difference. And he's actually taking no gas. That is why that he is not far behind in the minerals count. We do see several bunkers going up. These bunkers will be able to offer him some protection from a lot of things, as HuK's units are splitting up into two, maybe deciding that he wants to end this right here, right now. And at the moment, MorroW does bunker up, and I think that's going to make HuK fall back, as he does have vision of exactly what MorroW is doing. Zealot legs currently being researched by HuK, while MorroW has tried and struggled to get back his economy in balance. HuK has gotten his expansion, and HuK is getting more and more units. Additional upgrades going up for MorroW at the moment, as he's researching the weapons, not the weapons, the armor. The weapons has already completed. This observer's still here, still knowing exactly what's going on for HuK. MorroW can't really hide anything unless maybe he scans another time right now. And a missile turret is going on. Maybe this missile turret will kill off that observer as time comes. And we do see immense force coming in for HuK. And HuK's going to engage. He does kill off 5 infantry. And he's working on these bunkers, but bunkers are not really what you want to hit with these sort of units, especially just stalkers and sentry heavy. Not very good against bunkers. Some of the bunkers do fall, but most of the infantry do remain alive. Siege tech is currently being researched, as well as one immortal coming out. I think if he wants to switch to immortal, he needs to build another robotics facility. I think realizing he's a little bit behind in upgrades, he does put down a forge, and HuK is going to try and move in, or maybe he's psyching out the sentry tower, the sensor tower. One very good way to psych out your opponent is set some useless units. If you're a Zerg, you can set some Zerglings and some Overlords on patrol within the sensor tower, and give your opponent too much information. Because sensor towers are great to give information, but at the same time, if you flood information, they sort of become a little bit more useless. This Reaper checking out what's going on, seeing if HuK has expanded to the gold expansion, and he has not just yet, but he has expanded to this expansion, and I don't think, yes, MorroW does not see this expansion just yet. All the bunkers go down, signifying maybe something is going to happen with his units. Storm is currently being researched, as well as Armor 1 for his ground infantry, ground units. We do see a push by MorroW to take out these stalkers, because they are a little bit by themselves, and they're just sitting there, and he will be able to take down all of them. And he doesn't have any medevacs. He does have one on the way. He really needs some medevacs to heal these. He does have 2 coming right now to heal those units, and he will be able to heal those units. And missile tower going up once again. Maybe this time it will catch the observer, and it does catch the observer. Additional upgrades for HuK going up at the moment, realizing he's a little bit behind in upgrades. He does have 2 forges, researching them simultaneously. Concussive shells currently being researched by MorroW. And the siege tech has finished, but these tanks aren't sieged just yet. Maybe he's thinking about moving. Maybe he wants to put down bunkers. He's not sure. I think he's waiting for the medevacs to finish, and the medevacs do finish, and will be able to heal up those infantry. And now he feels confident enough, and he's actually not going to push and sit them down. And those tanks are nicely sieged. And look at this nice pattern on the map. You never want to engage stagger lines of tank fire. That is not the way to go. And we do see drops coming in. He does scan, and he's going to be able to catch HuK out of position, even though HuK does put down 2 cannons, and he's going to be able to take down 1 pylon, and he's going to try to take down 1 pylon, but these units do come in. But at the same time, HuK's forces are heavily invested here. He doesn't have that many forces over here to deal with the modern Marines, and these Stalkers are trying to fight him off, but these Marauders Marines are trying to take down this Nexus. Will they be able to do it? This was close, and wow, they do take down the Nexus. Very nice play by MorroW, doing a head fake at the main base, taking down some pylons while taking down the Nexus. But at this point, I think HuK is still a little bit ahead, as he does have slightly more income than MorroW at the moment. And yes, he does have a little bit more, as he is getting an additional 2 bases. MorroW really needs to expand. He can't really hold 2 bases forever against 4 base Protoss. Well, actually 3 base. This base is almost completely mined out. We do see a nice transfer of units and probes. A huge parade going on. A very long parade. That is very scary to look at. If the sensory tower was there, he might have been freaking out and thinking that there's an immense amount of units, when there's actually just a bunch of probes going back and forth. Long distance mining. We do see Protoss Shield currently being researched by HuK, as well as additional infantry